This was an undefeated fighter that Liz Carmouche just rolled through. The MMA world wanted Liz Carmouche to make a statement, and did she ever?
That was just unbelievable by Liz Carmouche. Outstanding.
No doubt this time, Liz Carmouche retains the Flyweight Championship. It is all sunshine for Liz Carmouche.
She tapped and it popped, so there's no doubts anywhere.
Hard in training. Will they fight for the title one day? We will see. We are underway. Carmouche in the red gloves, Bennett in the blue gloves.
Nice little head movement by Liz Carmouche as she started off that sequence.
Born in Louisiana, grew up in Okinawa, Japan. Her father was in the Air Force. She was there from age 3 until age 20.
Nice go behind. Beautiful takedown. Liz Carmouche is one of the physically strongest ladies that I've ever seen fight.
She said, in my mind, I'm coming in here with a clean slate. And just like everyone else, I have to work my way up the ranks before I fight a Lima. If the opportunity comes sooner, that's great, but I'm totally cool with putting in the work, and it starts right here against Vitamin D, Deanna Bennett.
She's got a very interesting position. This is something that a lot of jiu-jitsu practitioners are starting to do, taking the back, utilizing the lockdown when they have the back.
Watch that back of the head. Find that ear.
Black belt in 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu.
She's in that twister position, setup kind of. But Deanna Bennett also said though is that I'm comfortable on the ground. That's where actually I'm special at. So she felt very good there. She was able to get out of the lockdown and get back to her feet. Nicely done by her.
Most of this camp in Utah for Deanna Bennett. She has trained with Jeremy Horn in the past, part of the Miletich team way back in those glory days with the champions like Jens Pulver, obviously Matt Hughes. Yep.
Let me help
Tim Sylvia.
Jeremy Horn, I haven't heard that name in a while.
Our buddy Gumby.
Man, Mr. 100, 200 fights or something.
Yeah.
Jeez. Just probably one of the nicest guys I think you'll ever meet.
Absolutely.
One of the nicest guys and one of the great brains when it comes to fighting MMA.
Of course, Pat Miletich, a champion as well. The Croatian sensation. They break.
Let's go. You control that distance now. Keep your hands working. Don't kick yet. Keep punching. Yep. Where's the jab? Hop, hop. Yep. Keep popping. That's it. Keep patient. Put that fight. No more kicking. Keep your feet
Midway point of round number 1. Both women have very good grappling skills.
Strong base. Strong base. Right back to pressure. Nope. Keep those hands popping, please.
I like to remind people, like, their records are very similar, but their level of competition has been completely different.
You're absolutely right.
You can see that Bennett's giving her a little bit too much respect right now. She needs to go out there and try and push Liz around a little bit more and actually throw more than just one.
And Liz Carmouche has fought a who's who's list in women's mixed martial arts.
Liz Carmouche went 5 rounds with a woman that I think is one of the best mixed martial artists I've ever seen, Valentina Shevchenko. She went 5 rounds with her. You can stay 5 rounds with Valentina, you're special.
And she beat her back in 2010.
Exactly.
Spot Alexis Davis, Misha Tate.
Nice little setup, inside leg kick with the overhand right by Liz.
Jessica Andrade, and tonight, Deanna Bennett.
Also fought Ronda Rousey. I remember that.
I remember that very well. Had her back early.
Overhand position here, head position, bicep control, good.
Watch your base. Watch your base.
Switch on the bicep right there. Good. Good. Now you can turn.
Good head position by Liz in that situation because you can see what Deanna is looking for. She's got the whizzer on the outside, looking to step her leg across. That head position is keeping her from doing it.
Liz is physically strong. You can just see it how she got reversed with her back to the fence, and she just lifted her underhook and put Bennett's back to the fence.
And what Deanna's doing is Deanna's actually lifting her feet up off of the ground to move her around, which is it's a smart move, smart technique to use when you have someone that's that strong and trying to press you down.
Liz Carmouche fought for the Strikeforce title after just 8 months of training back in 2011 against the great Marlos Kunin.
That was a beautiful little roll through that Liz Carmouche did, but she just couldn't end up on the top position.
Yep. Nice job by Deanna to do it.
Good start to this flyweight fight.
Thank you.
She came in a knockout, she's leaving a knockout. The first Bellator girl, Mercedes Terrell. Her first show was in Kansas City. She said in an outdoor shopping center with a crowd of about 50 people, over 200 events. We wish her very well in her future endeavors. She is a very cool human being. Mercedes, all the best. We will miss you. Round 2. Who gets round 1? Josh.
I think Liz Carmouche, she had a big slam in the beginning. She had good positioning. She was beating Bennett to the punches. I thought she did a great job.
John?
You know, it's amazing that Josh can actually learn. I'm enjoying it. I am enjoying it. No, he's absolutely right.
I like asking both you guys so I can get you guys in a fight.
I'm trying to absorb as much knowledge as I can because John's 76 this week.
There you go.
Somewhere around there, so.
Yeah. Let's go.
It's amazing. I gain a year every week with Josh.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, hands up, please.
There's that little fake kick, inside kick, and then coming over the top with Liz with the right hand. Nice job.
That means I was at your 50th 26 years ago, John?
Not a kick bait. Not a kick bait.
Something like that.
You talked about the level of competition being very different, Josh, but as this fight continues, you can see the level of confidence rising drastically for Deanna Bennett.
Yeah, but you don't want to get overconfident with Liz Carmouche. One
For sure.
mistake and you'll get picked up, slammed, you know, submitted along those lines.
Yeah, keep your hand up.
Well, Josh is right as far as the level of competition, but you can look at Deanna, and she has fought some really high-level, good lady fighters. And, you know, she's gone against Miranda Maverick twice. She's an outstanding fighter. She's fought like Roxanne Modafari, you know, Jody Escobar. She's been in there with some really good, talented ladies. Nice takedown by Deanna Bennett.
Beat Juliana Pena way back in 2013. Opened her career 8-0.
This is where Deanna Bennett said that she felt really comfortable with Liz Carmouche.
She is comfortable here because she has got very good base and positioning on the ground.
She's also got 6 more pounds.
Well, you know what? Right now, that does make a difference.
Liz throwing the old school heel kick, but not to the back, but more to the thigh, which is, I actually really love that. I do that from the standing, or used to do that from the standing position.
Well, she can throw it from anywhere now. That's legal.
Midway point of this fight, Bennett trying to do damage on top. You talked about her father being a police officer. Deanna said, I have my father's badge. I carry it with me to all my fights. It is my #1 most prized possession because it means everything.
John, I talked with Liz this week. We did a couple interviews with her. We plus in the fighter meetings. Do you look at this fight also as possibly like a gotcha fight? It's your first fight in a new promotion, new contract, all these things. Deanna Bennett's tough. She's well-rounded all the way around. Somebody that hasn't fought the level of competition of you, but then there's the jitters of the fight coming in. I look at it like we're seeing this position right now, and Deanna Bennett looks phenomenal right now.
Right now,
I know she lost the first round, but she's controlling this grappling situation at this moment.
Right now, in my opinion, Liz is allowing herself to stay on the ground in positions where she has the opportunity to try to get up and get out, but she's not going there. Right now, she's going for that elevator, going for the leg.
She's got her in that heel hook.
She's got a good chance at it right now.
Bennett trying to roll out of trouble.
Just create that pressure.
She needs to keep
use those
moving.
legs.
She needs to keep circling and pushing on the butt, or at least coming up and hugging the head. She has that heel, though. This is also a very dangerous position. We've seen before in the past when people that hold on to leg locks too long, they're able to get countered and hit just like this.
She couldn't get her right leg activated in that, and that's what allowed Deanna to get herself at least up right now. Liz needs to figure out either if I can utilize my legs to push her back, I can stay with my submission. If she's getting on top, I gotta let it go like she's doing.
Nice job by Deanna Bennett.
As a corner, though, in my mind, I'm thinking, Liz, you should have used that when you felt like you didn't have it. Kick her away and get back to your feet. She allowed Deanna Bennett to get back to the top position.
30 seconds on the clock here in round number 2.
John, right now, how would you score that, though? She was threatening the submissions, but Deanna, I feel like she's winning the round because she's been on top, doing some work, doing some striking. How would you score that as of right now?
Well, as far as just that sequence, obviously you're going to give credit to the grappling of her going for the submission. You give nothing to Deanna as far as the defense, but overall in the round, striking has been the biggest element. That's what you're going to go off of.
Good job, ladies.
Both corners agree with what I asked you guys during break. 1-1.
Absolutely 1-1.
And
Confidence.
man, confidence in Bennett.
Ready.
I talked about that,
Ready.
Josh. And her trainers, her corner is pumped up. Third and final round, 5 minutes remain. Liz Carmouche's corner said, you need to win this round.
Well, John and I talked about confidence. You piggybacked on it, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
I'm going to go back and watch that later. I think I brought it up. There's Big John's scorecard.
Beautiful push kick.
John.
Come on, work yourself back up.
You heard Deanna Bennett's corner tell her between rounds, get after her. I told you you could do this. You knew you could do it. Now get out there, get the takedown, and dominate her like you did in the second.
Take a look at some of the numbers. A lot of strikes thrown. Percentage just a little bit better for Deanna Bennett.
Biggest problem with strike stats is those are not saying which were big shots, which were little ground and pound shots. So you've got to be educated in saying the shots that someone is landing on their feet are always going to be given a lot more weight than the ones that are landed that are little body heads on the ground.
Deanna Bennett doing a very good job on trying to get that wrist control. This old move where the fighters, they switch their legs against the fence to try to break the grip. I remember the first time I saw that was with Dan Henderson. Guys would try to take him down or get on the leg, and he would switch his hips, and people got confused, not knowing what to do. It changes the dynamic of where your hip pressure is.
Well, Deanna's utilizing that Kimura grip to try to defend against Liz getting her back, and now you're seeing Liz switching that grip on her.
Together now, head together, your head is in. Your head is in.
Deanna Bennett.
You see how Deanna Bennett's her feet are not against the fence. Liz, what she could do is start sweeping those feet back, hooking them and sweeping them back, so she sits Deanna Bennett right to her butt.
Whether she does an inside or outside hook on one of those legs, she sweeps one of them out, she's going to go down.
Not always, but yeah, I get it. If we did it to you, John, you would go down, for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
No doubt.
I go down without anybody doing it.
Very true. She's following her coach's instructions between rounds. I'm very impressed with Deanna Bennett right now.
Don't grab it.
Liz going for the switch.
Nice switch.
Nice switch, isn't it?
Deanna needs to stand up and start wrist control and start fighting the wrist and try to get back to her feet, breaking the grip. Liz doing a good job. What she needs to do is sag Deanna Bennett to that right side.
She needs to watch Phil Davis and the way he sags people down.
Yeah. Phil Davis with a split decision win last night in the rematch against Lyoto Machida. 2 minutes remain in the Bellator debut for both Liz Carmouche and Deanna Bennett.
But John, this is what I was talking about. There's a lot of nerves that go into this, and I think this is a very nice
job of taking
transition.
the back by Liz.
She's on the neck now, too. That's in tight,
Oh, that's
John.
deep.
Let go, that's it. It's over.
Bell and round one, the current Bellator MMA flyweight champion, Juliana Velasquez. It's Carmouche in the red gloves, Porto in the blue. Carmouche out of the southpaw stance, pawing away. Outside calf kick delivered by Carmouche, body kick by Porto. Carmouche moving to her right consistently.
Liz is really trying to set up. She's trying to step outside of the lead foot of Vanessa Porto to set up a straight left hand right down the pipe.
Another kick to the lead leg of Porto, who misses with a wild right hand.
Liz switching back and forth from orthodox to southpaw, a lot more than we've ever seen her do it before. She obviously saw something in watching Vanessa Porto that she believes this is a good tactic for her.
Porto trained by her husband, Pedro Carmouche, member of Team or 10th Planet San Diego in the arena. She said she spent most of her training camp at the arena, coming off a splashy Bellator debut last September, defeating Deanna Bennett at Bellator 246. That submission victory was the first time in 9 bouts that Carmouche did not hear the judges' scores.
That always makes you feel good as a fighter when you finish the fight. She had good moments in that fight. She had a hard second round. In the third round, she came out and she really did a great job of getting the back of Deanna Bennett and locking in that rear naked choke to get that submission victory. That was super important to her as a fighter for her confidence in coming into Bellator in her debut fight.
Yeah, her third win via submission. She has 6 knockouts as well. Porto, meanwhile, half of her 22 wins have come via submission, 11 to go along with 4 knockouts, but very much a cautious start here, collecting that all-important data, John, through the first half of the opening round.
Still a lot of feeling out by both. You see the movement by Liz Carmouche. There she goes, stepping back into a southpaw stance.
Porto says that at the end, it's the determination that she possesses that separates her from the competition. Carmouche familiar with Vanessa Porto because she helped train or spar with Pearl Gonzalez when Gonzalez was facing Porto for the Invicta title.
Well, this is a little bit unusual for me in watching a Liz Carmouche fight because normally Liz is the one. She has the shorter reach, she's the shorter fighter, and she's trying to get inside on people. She's trying to keep Vanessa Porto at range, and it's working for her right now.
Porto delivered a body kick. Minute and a half remaining in the first round.
So she is trying to set up that straight left hand.
So Bellator MMA fan trying to do a little matchmaking. Of course, the #1 ranked women's flyweight is Alima Leigh McFarland. I'm sure she would love a rematch with Juliana Velasquez, suffering her first loss against the new 125-pound champion as Porto lands a jab on Carmouche. Carmouche making the most of the real estate in the cage. Porto attacking the lead leg of Carmouche, going from southpaw to orthodox, as you mentioned, John, now from the southpaw stance, and Porto really attacking the inside of the lead leg from the lefty position.
Porto's starting to feel her range, starting to come inside with kicks, punches. She's been a little bit off on the targeting. You know, she's basically looking towards throwing those shots towards that chest area.
Porto Porto tries to hunt down Carmouche at the bell. On the big Bellator MMA stage, she says fighting for Bellator is a dream come true. After dominating Invicta, where she was the 125-pound champion. Talk about adjustments you would like to see happen in the second round for both fighters, John.
I want to, if I'm going to go with adjustments for Vanessa Porto, I need more out of you. I need you to start throwing. If you want to be in this stand-up position, then I need you to start throwing more shots, give her more to look at, more combinations. And if I'm looking at Liz Carmouche, that's what I want to see at times. Use your hands, more combinations, and if you can get into her body, I want you to take her to the ground and use your ground and pound because it's devastating.
Isso. Vai tentar com você passar de qualquer jeito. Vamos pisar no pé, Vanessa. Vamos trabalhar a joelhada e pisar no pé. Isso. Vai, de novo. Ela sentiu. No pé que ela sentiu. No pé que ela vai. Ela sentiu, Vanessa.
So they're busy using those short knee strikes in the clinch.
See Vanessa trying to frame out on it. Liz is so physically strong at 125 pounds. It's going to take a lot of movement for Vanessa to get Liz off her. She needs to step away, bring that underhook up higher. It's going to be tough with where Liz's arm is right now.
Carmouche 1-1 with UFC 125 champion Valentina Shevchenko, but now designs on the Bellator MMA title, and this is her second fight under the Bellator MMA banner as Porto putting her weight.
Not only Porto is
looking for a choke.
I was going to say, she's looking to put her arms into that lock choke, but with where Liz is at, she can pick her legs up and bring her down. So
Carmouche creates some separation, has that left knee waiting to be uncoiled. There it is. Midway point of the round and the fight.
And when you're looking at those, they're not real exciting, but those knees to the thighs, it's a Charlie horse.
Yeah, you get introduced to the horse named Charlie, so as you just said.
And it just makes your movement now, when you get free, now your movement is a little bit harder. Your legs are heavier. So all this adds up. This is actually good work by Liz Carmouche.
A lot of little things happening here at close distance, John.
Yeah, I admit it's not exciting work, but it is damaging, and it actually has an effect in the fight. So that's why fighters go towards it to try to, now I'm going to break you down a little bit, then I'm going to try to attack you again.
Under 2 minutes left in the second, and Porto finally creates separation. Carmouche from the southpaw stance. Porto coming forward, applying the jab, attacking the lead leg on the outside. Counter right by Carmouche.
Right hand thrown by Porter, counter right by Carmouche.
Body kick delivered by GIRL-RILLA. That kick was checked by Carmouche.
was a nice check, but if you're going to check, then throw that left.
Yeah, and the corner said it. You got to counter that. We have reached the final minute of the second round. Porto looking to make an immediate impact in her Bellator MMA debut, while Liz Carmouche wants to show the world that, yeah, she is still very viable as a title challenger. And it's been a remarkable career for Liz Carmouche, and the part of history that she represents in mixed martial arts in so many ways, John.
Absolutely, and you talk about, you know, special people in mixed martial arts. She's such a good person.
Yes.
She's so fun to be around. She's got a great personality.
Been calling her, well, called her first fight a decade ago with the Strikeforce, and we've seen her evolution. And here now, final 15 seconds of the second round, and Carmouche was moving forward, now moving laterally, and Porto on the hunt, but unable to make contact as we go to round 3.
Right now, if you're looking at this fight, Mora, I think that Vanessa Porto is going to have to get really busy in this third round. She just hasn't done enough
na cara dela, mas tenta
desviar in her favor.
Porque ela já pegou esse chute seu por dentro. Vamos chutar por fora e tenta aquele chute na cara. Só tem uma.
Right, if you're going to throw one punch, then the calf kick, the low kicks are there. Vince, I'll finish up too. You're getting her to bite when you feint. Now you got to take advantage of that. After you score, she will rush you. So after you score, circle. She'll rush you every time after you score to try and get that score back. Right? She's right there on the edge of your feints. She's trying to cut you off to the cage. Positioning was good against the cage. One more. Hey.
It would be a huge feather in the cap of Vanessa Porto to knock off the number 2 ranked Liz Carmouche in her Bellator MMA debut. Meanwhile, Carmouche wants to keep her name in the championship conversation. Final 5 minutes of this flyweight battle. Carmouche in the red gloves, Porto in the blue.
Vanessa Porto really needs to figure out a way to close that distance. She's having a hard time with the range right now that Liz Carmouche is deploying with her footwork. She's got to figure out a way to cut it off and take a step in to land the shot. She's got to start throwing. She's got to do something in combination that's going to affect Liz Carmouche.
What about Carmouche and her offensive strategy in these final 4 minutes?
You know, really, you look and you go, it's, you know, not the most exciting as far as, you know, what she's doing, but she's just controlling the fight from the outside, and she's landing, you know, little tiny shots here and there. That was a nice kick to the body by Porto. That's what Porto needs to do. She needs to close that distance and put the pressure on Liz. If this fight is fought at range, we've already seen Liz Carmouche is the one that's going to be leading the dance.
Porto allowing Carmouche to just circle.
That's it, when you're following, see right there, she's following her. Instead of taking a step and cutting her off and taking a step forward and throwing off of it.
An effective counter strike by Carmouche, and then lands the 1-2, splitting the guard with the right hand down the middle. Porto flashes the jab, doesn't follow up. Kicks exchanged. Carmouche getting the better of that one.
Yes, he did.
2 minutes gone in the final round.
I'm just not seeing that sense of urgency on Vanessa Porto that I want to see. She's got to feel, when you're in that position, even if you say, I don't know if we won that round, well, then just assume you lost it. And you got to get going. You got to do something to change the aspect of the way this fight is being fought. Nice job.
Yeah, Carmouche drops down and looks for the takedown.
That was a trip by the cage, but it actually
worked out. It was fortuitous. trip. Very quick.
She's got the hands on the legs. What she wants to do is try to bring those hands together or bring her head up so she can slide her head up, go towards the back.
Final 2 minutes.
Switch to a single leg
of this fight.
Try to bring her out from the cage, pull that leg out, swing her down.
And Carmouche, with dogged determination, trying to secure the takedown. And the final minute, 45 seconds of the fight.
Liz did try to swing her out, and Porto's just strong enough and good enough to understand that position and defend against it.
And Porto delivering some short knee strikes, but needs to create separation, needs to deliver an offensive onslaught, and she's being stymied by Liz Carmouche. Under 90 seconds now left.
This is the area that we've normally seen Liz Carmouche in a lot of her fights, where she starts to dominate her opponents because she's physically strong. She's tough, she hits hard, she's got good knees. Just physically, she can move her opponent where she wants a lot of the time.
Well, 9 of Porto's 11 previous fights have gone to the judges, and with a minute left, it appears another judge's decision on the horizon as Carmouche continues to pin Porto along the fence, has some separation, doesn't throw the knee. Collar tie, and there's an elbow on the exit.
That was a nice clean elbow on that exit.
We are down to the final 30 seconds. As Liz Carmouche and Vanessa Porto.
That was a nice kick.
Going at it here in the flyweight division, and now Carmouche beginning to put it together as Porto seeks a final minute takedown that was blocked by Carmouche. We are down to the final 10 seconds. And this matchup between the #2 ranked flyweight Liz Carmouche and Bellator newcomer Vanessa Porto goes to the judges.
Liz "GIRL-RILLA" Carmouche.
Let's go.
Josh Thompson's been saying it all night. There are wins and there are performances. Liz especially needs both.
Boy, Liz Carmouche
she did.
Coming out really strong, coming forward, a lot of pressure.
Nice, strong right hand. Now an overhand right. Watanabe backpedaling, she's in big trouble. Liz Carmouche piling it on. Kevin McDonald taking a close look. A lot of these shots are getting in, and it's over. It's over. The MMA world wanted Liz Carmouche to make a statement, and did she ever?
Bell, round 1, scheduled for 5. And remember, it took just over half a minute for Carmouche to punch her way to this championship opportunity in her last fight, and she walks down the champion early.
This is exactly what I would expect to see out of Liz Carmouche. You cannot sit there and wait. You've got to create these situations. You got to create your opportunities. Don't get into a long-range battle with Juliana. Press her forward. Like what I'm seeing out of Liz right now.
It was Carmouche's first victory via form of knockout since she stopped Jessica Andrade in July of 2013. So, long time coming as Velasquez fires off a left hand inside. Low kick by Carmouche. Another kick to the leg
and all of those
by the
kicks,
challenger.
All of those kicks, Moro, are needed by Liz. She needs to continue to attack those legs, slow down that movement of Juliana.
A minute has elapsed in the first round. The challenger continues to stalk the champion. Carmouche from the southpaw stance, but moving back to orthodox, and you'll see both stances on display. It's a calf kick, another calf kick by the challenger, and Carmouche closes the distance, and they exchange shots.
Juliana is always very heavy on that front leg, so it's going to be there for Liz to attack.
And both are counter fighters at heart, and Velasquez showing some crisp counter punching here against Carmouche.
She is, but notice the exits by Liz. She's landing that last shot, which is important. Juliana already showed not a whole lot of fighters like to fight off their back foot, or actually are good at it. She showed against Denise Kielholtz she can do it, and she can land good shots. So this is not unusual for her as far as moving backwards, but Liz needs to take that and make it uncomfortable.
Oh, and there Carmouche lands a left on the champion's chin, and there the champion fires off a 1-2 combination from the southpaw stance that scored.
Champion's landed a couple of very clean, straight left hands.
Of course, Valentina Shevchenko is southpaw, and while Carmouche owns a victory over her the last time they met, that proved to be a big problem, and Carmouche talked about facing a southpaw in Velasquez and the adjustments and the changes she needs to make. Of course, longtime training partner with Ilima-Lei Macfarlane, and would love to gain a measure of revenge for her training partner, who of course is back at it tomorrow night here in her home turf.
Very nice straight left hand landed by Juliana there, but still relentless pressure coming forward by Liz, but the output needs to start notching it up.
Yeah, Carmouche has thrown 30 strikes, landed 10. Velasquez 8 of 17 according to our statistical department. There's a nice jab to the midsection by Velasquez. Doesn't follow up with the left and then backpedals, resets, but the pressure continues to be administered by Carmouche.
Liz is starting getting into a little bit of she's following. You don't want to follow, you want to cut off that ring.
Tactical opening, 4 minutes of this championship fight. Leg kick by Carmouche, another jab to the body by Velasquez. Feints with the kick.
Carmouche has landed quite a few more kicks. That's the real difference in this round right now that I'm seeing.
Yep, 10 of 11 compared to 1 of 3 for the champion, John. But the champion, Velasquez, putting together a good textbook 1-2 from the southpaw stance.
But the big thing, she's got to get past the 1-2 into the 3-4.
Yes. High kick by Carmouche. Both of them have to be careful, tuck those chins. 10 seconds, Carmouche catches the kick, clinches with Velasquez, both known for savvy work within the clinch, but the clock will run out in the opening round. We mentioned her, there she is, the inaugural Flyweight champion, Ilima-Lei Macfarlane. It's always a happening when she fights in her native Hawaii, and she returns to action following the longest layoff of her career. She will face Justine Kish tomorrow night, Bellator 279, right here at Neal S. Blaisdell Arena in Honolulu. She is cheering on her longtime friend Liz Carmouche. In fact, Carmouche signed her Bellator MMA contract here in Honolulu. So this place has a special meaning for her, and not a bad start for the challenger.
Not a bad start for either. I thought the big difference were the kicks by Liz Carmouche. A couple of good shots landed there in the stand-up. I thought that Velasquez landed a couple of very nice straight left hands. Carmouche coming over the top. Little right, left landing. Not a ton of power on it. But the leg kicks are something that Liz needs to stick with. They had an effect in the beginning of the round. She kind of got away from them a little bit towards the end of that first round. She needs to get back to it.
And Velasquez might want to dip into that arsenal as well, as we've seen in the past. Of course, she is a judoka. Carmouche is a 10th
Beautiful
wow.
left hand by Juliana.
And dropping Carmouche in the second round, the first knockdown of the fight. And now another 1-2 by the champion.
That was a clean, straight down the pipe left hand by Juliana.
And Carmouche bouncing right back to her feet, but she has tasted the power. Going upstairs with a high kick. Velasquez, 12-0 with 4 knockouts. Carmouche has tasted the power, now looking for the takedown. That's her first takedown attempt, and she secures it.
Very nice job by Liz, and this is something she needs to do. Good job of trying to lace the legs here. She's trying to figure 4 of those. We'll see if she can get to it. She does. But she needs to get Juliana's back off of that fence material onto the canvas. Sounds easy to do, but it's very difficult. There's a whole lot of technique going on from both women right here. Juliana to stay in that upright position. Liz trying to create pressure, but not get to the point where it's so light that all of a sudden Juliana can start to pull her feet out. See Liz reaching out for that right arm. She's got the wrist. She needs to control that, get that elbow now off the ground, and she can use her head as a third arm to drive Juliana towards that canvas.
Strength from Liz Carmouche on display, managing to keep that right arm neutralized and taking small steps, trying to move up.
Little tiny moves make big differences. You see her trying to get that, lace that arm. Now she's got that arm where she can hold it with the right arm.
The champion not panicking. Velasquez up against the fence. And now the pass by Carmouche coming up on the midpoint of the second round.
A lot of pressure by Liz right now. Driving straight down into Juliana, keeping her in that position. Opens up with that left hand. Remember, she's got that right hand holding onto the right arm of Juliana.
Velasquez up against the fence, going to get back to her feet and does so. Just over 2 minutes left in the second round, so Velasquez back to her feet, but it's still Carmouche putting the pressure on her, putting all her weight against her on the fence, and delivers a knee to the inside thigh. Another knee by Carmouche to the champion.
Champion sitting there with that wizard. Many times judokas love the wizard, even over the underhook.
An old school veteran at art, the foot stomps. And every time we see foot stomps, we've got to give a shout out to the king of the streets, Marco Huas. I think it's in the contract, John. A minute and a half remaining in the second. Carmouche doing whatever it takes to keep the champion off balance. But it's champion now. Velasquez has Carmouche against the fence.
Nice job by Juliana to switch the position. You see Liz digging that underhook. Beautiful knee to the body.
Man, the clinch is an area where a lot of pundits were interested in seeing what would materialize, and we're seeing it unfold here with just over a minute left in the second round.
Well, like we talked about it, Liz Carmouche is possibly the strongest 125-pound female fighter you'll find, and I think Juliana is second. So they're both used to being able to kind of bully their way with the other women in the division.
And they're jockeying for position here. They're taking turns here in this clinch battle, final minute of the second round. And again, every taxing second, and Velasquez showing she's adept at delivering a foot stomp as well. And knee strike by Carmouche, and the trip takedown by Velasquez. With 20 seconds left, Velasquez secures her first takedown. Carmouche very comfortable on her back, of course, with training 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu black belt, Eddie Bravo and company. Good stuff through 2 rounds of this Flyweight Championship fight. And John, your unofficial scorecard read?
You know, unofficially, I got to give the round to Velasquez. If you recall at the beginning, she knocked her down with a straight left hand. That was a big telling shot. Here it comes right here. That put Liz on her butt. That was a clean shot. Now Liz got the takedown and she was doing good positional work, but she wasn't able to inflict much damage on Juliana. Juliana was able to get a takedown of her own. That knockdown is a big part of what the judges are going to look at. This is a beautiful takedown by Liz to get Juliana to the ground, but again, wasn't able to do much as far as doing damage. She did some good work, but not enough to make up, in my mind, for the knockdown.
Velasquez representing Team Nogueira, Carmouche representing the Arena MMA. Fourth opportunity at a major MMA title, the second defense for Juliana Velasquez after a narrow split decision win over Denise Kielholtz in her first challenge. Her first title defense, and now trying to hold off the challenge of Liz Carmouche, round number 3. Calf kick by Carmouche. Big John has it even heading into the third. Of course, the fight would become official after this third round. We know what happened a week ago in the final of the $1 million light heavyweight World Grand Prix between Corey Anderson and the champion Vadim Nemkov, resulting in a no contest after an accidental head clash, and hopefully they will conclude that tournament. Bantamweight Grand Prix getting underway tomorrow, but Velasquez with a left hand here in her flyweight title defense. And Carmouche has to be careful, John, when she comes in because her chin is exposed.
Absolutely, sir. Her chin's starting to get a little high when she comes in as she's throwing her shots, and you're starting to see a change in the momentum of this fight. Look at who's moving forward now.
Yes, the champion.
Look who's
Velasquez
on her back foot. Again, Liz going after that leg. I think she needs to continue to work that leg as much as possible.
Numbers are interesting in terms of punches landed and thrown. Big edge for Velasquez, as we talked about. A big edge for Carmouche when it comes to kicks.
And it's that left hand. Liz is having a hard time figuring out the straight left hand by Juliana. She's setting it up well, and she's getting Liz into her range, throwing that jab out, following it up. Nothing fancy, nothing special, but she's being effective.
Double jab, then delivers the left. And we talked about total kicks landed. Cavalcade for Carmouche, 19 of 23 compared to 1 of 4 for Velasquez, but Velasquez been content to be a headhunter. And as you mentioned, that left hand has been key.
Beautiful job catching that kick.
And delivers the left.
And you notice how she caught it with the right, moved it off to set up the straight left hand.
Beautiful technique.
Yeah.
Midway point of the third round, another left hand from Velasquez, flashing the jab again, going down the middle, and Carmouche has to take her head off center line, try to find a way to navigate a path to the champion, use angles. There's a kick that lands, calf kick by the challenger. But you're right, John, she's now on her back foot. It's Velasquez putting the pressure on the challenger.
Yeah, Velasquez has become the sniper here. She's just setting up that left hand. She's looking for her opportunities to land it. Carmouche sometimes upsets her balance, upsets her positioning with that low leg kick, but not enough to stop what Juliana's starting to set up.
There's another solid left hand that connects for the champion Velasquez.
That was a clean, straight shot. Liz really needs to start to change this up because she's starting to eat that left hand repeatedly, and now you're seeing Juliana, as we talked about before, she will go downstairs to the body, set it up, then come back up top.
Velasquez left hand. Result of the lone takedown, the knockdown, but now a takedown by Carmouche.
Important takedown for Carmouche. Look, she was starting to lose that stand-up, clearly lose it. She needed to change the aspect of this fight. That's what she's doing with this takedown. Let's see what she can do. She's only got a minute left.
Yep, and it's her second takedown of the fight. The champion delivering some elbows from the bottom.
And right now, she got the takedown. Great technique, got it there. She hasn't thrown one strike. And Juliana, although they're from her back, she's throwing the elbows. She's the one that's being the aggressor.
Got to be careful about those elbow strikes to the back of the head, but they're legal.
Right. That's right to the top of the head. That is clean.
Under 30 seconds left in the third round. Close guard of Velasquez. Wide base by Carmouche, but her posture being controlled effectively by the champion. Speaking of the champion, we are headed to the championship rounds of our Bellator 278 main event. A little can opener action from Carmouche as we go to round number 4.
Three deep breaths, Liz. How you feeling? Good? That entry's there anytime. That entry's there anytime, again.
Tá tomando a queda boba, né? Tu viu ela entrando, não deu sprawl. Tá bom. A gente foi dominante o round todo. Só esse finalzinho que ela deu a queda não fez nada, tá? Esse round foi nosso, tá bom? Só que olha só.
It was that straight left and landed right on the jawline of Liz Carmouche. And that left hand has been the big difference in this fight. Juliana's been able to land heavy shots continuously in the last couple rounds, and it's making a difference. This was a great takedown by Liz to get to the top position, but once she got there, Morrow, there just wasn't any real effective offensive output.
Okay, John Corner has administered its instructions heading into the championship rounds. Challenger Liz Carmouche, champion Juliana Velasquez. Here heading into round 4, the biggest adjustment you would like to see each make, beginning with the champion.
With the champion, what I want her to do is don't allow the takedown. You're controlling this now in the stand-up.
Oh, and there's a knockdown with the left hand.
A little bit off balance, I think, also.
Yep, also.
What caused it.
And for Carmouche?
Carmouche, you have got to work into this clinch area and now work to get this to the ground. You've got to get to the top position. But when you get there, you have to be busy. Juliana doing a great job of raising that underhook with her right arm. That's what was able to turn Liz to get her back against the cage. Little techniques, little things that make differences. Right now, Juliana with double unders.
Velasquez, 35, didn't start training MMA until the age of 27. Undefeated, including 7 wins under the Bellator MMA banner. Eats a couple of knees from the challenger Carmouche, but then Velasquez turns Carmouche and they continue to battle. There's the judoka going for a judo throw takedown, but defended by Carmouche.
Not really defended. The defense helped a lot in that one, but it was.
Well, it did result in the takedown.
She's getting herself back to her feet. But you can really see a difference right now in their effectiveness in the fight. Juliana's starting to be the one that is, for the most part, starting to control the position, starting to control where this fight's going to be.
Well, we've seen in the past where Liz Carmouche comes on late to take rounds, and that may be the case here now. Under 3 minutes left in the fourth, and again, she eats that left hand down the middle, needs to take her head off center line, tries to attack the legs of the champ.
She's leaning back, and you don't want to be in that position because you can only lean back so far. If Juliana makes the proper adjustment and brings her feet into play, that shot's going to land. She's going to be off balance, and she'll end up on the ground.
Another left hand this one to the body of Carmouche. Past the midway point of the fourth. 1-2 combination scores for the champion. And now Carmouche storms the champion. And it's the champion now utilizing footwork and being able to move to her right. 2 minutes left in the round.
Good timing by Liz to take advantage of that left hand that Juliana threw, but she ends up, now she's got Juliana's back against the cage. She's got to work for this takedown.
1 minute left in the fourth. Velasquez puts Carmouche on the fence, and it's this gritty battle for positioning. And Carmouche spins Velasquez to the canvas.
Caught that leg, controlled it with that spin. Beautiful takedown by Liz. Not much time left though.
40 seconds left to work from side control, and she definitely needs to up the attack. 30 seconds left in the round. She's trying to neutralize the right arm of the champion, and now looking to deliver some ground and pound. Crucifix position. Short elbow strikes.
There's a couple good ones in there.
Referee stops the fight. We've got a new flyweight champion. Let's go. First of a scheduled 5 rounds for the gold, and immediately Carmouche on the attack, looking to change levels.
Just like I pointed out, crush that space. That's what Liz Carmouche just did. Getting into this clinch situation, she believes that she has an advantage here, and she showed it in the last fight. Let's see if she can get Juliana to the ground with this.
She's been training with Coach Charles Martinez in Virginia Beach. Liz Carmouche moving away from traditional camp and her busy home life, focusing on maintaining her hold on the gold. A minute gone here in the first round, and the crowd at Mohegan Sun Arena already impatient. Velasquez began training judo at 4, is a black belt, former Brazilian national judo champion. Used her judo skills in their first meeting, but right now just pinned to the fence by Carmouche.
She is pinned to the fence here. She's got that underhook. You can see her right arm with the underhook. Liz with her right arm on the other side with an underhook. This is a 50-50 position, but it's Liz that wants this fight here. Juliana does not, so that means that Juliana right now cannot effectively get herself free from Liz.
And now Velasquez switches places with Carmouche. They continue to battle for position.
Nice head position by Velasquez.
Velasquez trying to pummel here, got the underhook, looking for the body lock.
He's got the double unders right now.
Left hand upstairs by Velasquez, looking to create space. Overhook employed by Carmouche. So a close quarters here in the first half of the first round.
So I know it looks like, oh, there's not a lot going on. There is so much energy being spent by both ladies right now. There's a lot of pushing and pulling, and you're putting weight into areas and having to balance your body out. This can be exhausting. This is going to have an effect on both of them as this fight progresses. Notice Juliana's winning the battle of the heads right here. Notice where her head's at. She's able to push over on Liz, keeping her head, her jawline turned.
Watch it. Watch the blow.
Coming up on 1 minute, 30 seconds remaining in the opening round.
Velasquez looking for a nice foot sweep, unable to make it work. At this point, she's got the double under, so she's the one in control of the position right now.
Final minute of the first round. Velasquez just 4 for 4. She's 100%, but she's just thrown and landed 4 punches compared to Carmouche being credited with 32 of 36, but it's really all about the position and control. And you wonder about those numbers, John. I see the look on your face.
I haven't seen that many shots. But
Stop, break.
Carmouche again, attempting the takedown. Well defended by Velasquez.
May not be liked by the fans, but this is a smart game plan by Liz Carmouche. Getting a takedown, very nicely done.
And Carmouche says her wrestling is something that she feels stands out against any opponent she's ever faced, and she ends the round in full mount.
Hey, man, you gotta hit where you gotta hit, you know? How you feel? That was good. You controlled. Create a little bit more movement when your back is against the cage. You did plenty of damage. So now she's gonna bite every time that you think. She's gonna think you're gonna rush her again. So let's punch our way into that, okay? That's good head position against the cage. When you turn, you gotta start creating movement. Don't let her pin you there, right? The damage was good. The setup was good. Let's feint and punch your way in.
Way to put money in the bank. Next round, she knows what's coming.
She's going to react to your feints now. She's going to be looking to defend, right?
Deixa ela correr agora, tá?
Charles Martinez letting Liz Carmouche know that she being Velasquez is going to be looking for Carmouche's feints. Carmouche landed a takedown, achieved full mount, but then time ran out. We begin round number 2, and Carmouche takes the center of the cage, but there's the linear striking of the former champion, the southpaw Velasquez, the 1 and 2, forced to retreat though, and again pressure being put on by Carmouche, snatches a single and puts Velasquez back on the mat.
Smart move by Liz Carmouche. Look, she's putting a lot of pressure. She's taking a chance, but she's got to take that chance against someone that's got better stand-up than her overall, and she has the advantage. She can get this to the ground. You saw her go to mount.
Yep.
In the first round at the end. I think if there was time on the clock.
Short knee strikes being delivered by the champion Carmouche. Underhook by Velasquez, and then she turns the tables on Carmouche, but it's been a battle of position, jockeying, and as you mentioned, John, a lot of energy being expended, and their body shots by Velasquez. There's a knee delivered by the former champ.
That was a nicely placed knee.
And the 1-2 lands for Velasquez. And there's Carmouche shooting again. Trying to control the legs. Velasquez will attempt to wall walk. Carmouche 2 for 4 in the takedown department.
Right here, this is the battle. You're going to see Liz Carmouche try to bring her hips off of that fence. Nice job of lacing the legs up. Now she's going to be able to keep Juliana on the ground. Now she's just got to decide, I want to tip her to the right or to the left. Try to drive her back to the canvas. Watch the short elbows inside. Liz does a really nice job of bringing the hand over the head and then slicing the elbow in.
Liz Carmouche just embracing that grind against Velasquez. I guess this is where the fans wish Dan Juliana was the referee, John.
Might be. A little bit quickly standing up, but even Dan in this position.
I'm joking. I like Dan. I know what you mean. He's got control. I mean, there's no way, right?
And, you know, there's a lot of things that can happen from this. It only takes one small mistake, and all of a sudden, big advantages are taken. So you don't want to take a fighter out when they have an advantage of the position. This is what you should see Liz do. Start to move herself
right into.
Nice job.
There, right into full mount. Well done by the champion, Liz Carmouche.
Not only well done, so physically strong to be able to do that.
And now, with 1.5 minutes remaining in the second, can Carmouche capitalize on this dominant position?
Looking to bring that leg up and over. It's an S mount. Can't see exactly where her leg's at, but it should be by the head of Juliana. She's trying to separate it.
Short elbow there by Carmouche.
She's got that leg right under. She can go into an armbar.
3 submission wins for the champion. 2 via rear naked choke and 1 via armbar. Her first submission back in May of 2010.
That's a lot of pressure on that. There you go.
There's a tap. No doubt this time. Liz Carmouche retains the Flyweight Championship with a submission win over Juliana Velasquez, who suffers her 2nd consecutive loss and taps out for the first time in her career.